Section 17. At that time, Mahamate Bodhisattva asked the Buddha, Bhagavan, the Tathagata teaches that what is eternal and inconceivable is the realm of ultimate truth, the realm of Buddha knowledge one realizes oneself. Bhagavan, do other schools not teach that what is eternal and inconceivable is a cause? The Buddha told Mahamate, the cause of other schools does not qualify as eternal and inconceivable. And why not? Because what other schools claim is eternal and inconceivable is not the result of its own causal attribute. If what is eternal and inconceivable is not the result of its own causal attribute, on what basis does it appear as eternal and inconceivable? Furthermore, Mahamate, if what is inconceivable were the result of its own causal attribute, it would be eternal. But because it would be due to the causal attribute of a creator, it would not qualify as eternal and inconceivable. Mahamate, the reason my ultimate truth is eternal and inconceivable is because ultimate truth is the result of a causal attribute that transcends existence and non-existence. Because the attainment of personal realization is its attribute, it has an attribute. And because the knowledge of ultimate truth is its cause, it has a cause. And because it is beyond existence and non-existence, it resembles what is not created: space, nirvana, and complete cessation. This is why it is eternal. Hence, Mahamate, it is not the same as the doctrines about what is eternal and inconceivable of other schools. Thus, Mahamate, this eternal and inconceivable is attained by the personal realization of the knowledge of the Tathagatas. Therefore, the eternal and inconceivable attained by the personal realization of Buddha knowledge is what you should cultivate. Moreover, Mahamate, the eternal and inconceivable of members of other schools is impermanent, because it is caused by something else, and because it lacks the power to create its own causal attribute. Also, Mahamate, members of other schools consider their eternal and inconceivable as eternal despite having witnessed the impermanence of the existence and non-existence of what is created. Mahamate, despite having witnessed the impermanence of the existence and non-existence of what is created, I could use the same method to claim that the realm of Buddha knowledge, realized by oneself, is eternal and free from causes. Mahamate, if the eternal and inconceivable of other schools were the result of a causal attribute, and that causal attribute did not itself exist, it would be the same as horns on a rabbit. Their eternal and inconceivable would be merely words and imagination. This is the problem among members of other schools. And how so? Because what is merely words and imagination is the same as rabbit horns, for which a causal attribute does not exist. Mahamate, what I speak of as eternal and inconceivable is eternal because it is based on the attribute of personal realization, and because it transcends the existence and non-existence of what is created. It is not in consideration of the impermanence of external non-existence that is eternal. Mahamate, if what is eternal and inconceivable were eternal in consideration of the impermanence of external non-existence, there would be no way to know the eternal and inconceivable's own causal attribute. As this distracts people from the attainment of the personal realization of the realm of Buddha knowledge, it is not worth talking about. Section 18. Furthermore, Mahamate, Shravakas who are afraid of the suffering that comes from their projections of samsara seek nirvana, unaware that the difference between samsara and nirvana, as well as their projection of everything else, does not exist. They conceive of nirvana as the cessation of all future sensory realms, not the transformation of repository consciousness through the personal realization of Buddha knowledge. Thus, ignorant people speak of three paths, and not of the projection-free realm that is nothing but mind. Mahamate, they therefore do not know the realm of the mind perceived by Tathagatas of the past, the present, and the future. Instead, they are attached to the perception of a realm outside the mind and keep turning the wheel of samsara. Section 19. Furthermore, Mahamate, nothing arises. This is what the Tathagatas of the past, the present, and the future teach. And how so? Because existence and non-existence are perceptions of one's own mind, the existence or non-existence of which does not arise. Mahamate, nothing that exists arises. Everything is like horns on a rabbit or a horse, the mistaken projections of an imagined reality by ignorant beings. Therefore, Mahamate, nothing that exists arises. The non-arising that characterizes all that exists, this is the personal realization of the realm of Buddha knowledge, not the dualistic realm of projections of the ignorant. The existence that characterizes such things as your body, your possessions, and the world around you, Mahamate, is the interplay of the grasping and grasped of repository consciousness. Trapped by their dualistic views of origination, duration, and cessation, and their wish for things to arise, the ignorant give rise to projections of existence and non-existence, not the wise. Mahamate, you should reflect on this in your practice.